to be the podcast host for The Bear.
Hi, I'm Leah.
Hi, I'm Ernest.
I'm Yusuf.
I'm Toby.
I'm Esmeralda.
So the first question today is, what word will we use to describe The Bear?
Intense.
Why?
Because it is intense. That one episode where it was all taken in one shot, and like you could really see like the stressfulness of working in a kitchen. Yeah, that was intense.
I think it was dramatic, like they make things look a little harder than it should be.
I think I would say critical because everything's almost make or break in the show. Every mistake they make, it'll either set someone off over the edge, it'll screw something up very bad, and they always have to be on top of everything they're doing. So I think critical is a good word to describe the show as, it really depicts how everyone is feeling at the time and how detailed everything really needs to be.
I just feel like the whole thing's confusing and very chaotic. Like the whole show is just a lot of different things going on at the same time.
I have to go with very like Brazilian because this show. Oh. I would say Brazilian only because it's like a lot of obstacle courses going like with each character, and they're going through many different things, and it's like they have to recover from a lot of stuff.
I think it's nerve-wracking mostly because everybody's like doing their own thing. So whenever somebody's telling somebody else to do something, they don't do it. So it's kind of like always clashing heads with one another.
So early in season 1, like for specific reasons, episode 1, titled System, we see facts say that Richie isn't a nice guy, he's just sad inside. What are the heartbreaks that Richie is dealing with in The Bear? And how is he responding to the heartbreak?
I mean, his best friend just died, so he's being a little bit of an asshole because of that. And then we don't find this out until later, but he's divorced or broken up with, and his daughter's going through a lot of trouble at school. So this, in addition to Richie having no place in the kitchen, it just kind of makes him feel unhappy with himself, as fact says.
I think he's kind of reacting.
Oh, okay. Like Richie's dealing with like not being there for his family. Kitchen is getting hard. Obviously his relationship failed, so it's all taking a big toll on him mentally. It just throws him off, basically.
I feel like he's reacting like a pygmy.
Pick me?
Yeah.
Like a pick me girl?
Yeah, because it's like whenever he's trying to talk about the stories in the kitchen with like his coworkers while everybody else is like doing something, like the way that Carmi ends up implementing the system where it's just like you have to have a sense of urgency, he's just constantly slacking off, and it's kind of like he's trying to keep himself relevant, like the same way some pygmy girls try to keep themselves relevant amongst like a group and stuff.
Yeah, but I think that also goes with it's that delicate ecosystem that he kept on bringing up, because he doesn't want to change. He kind of feels fine being a stagnant store as they are, and just doing what they've always done, because change requires growth. So I think that was his big thing. He wasn't ready for it, and he's also had to deal drugs to keep the store open. So I don't know.
To go back to what Ernest said, his parenting struggles, because typically when a parent know they can't be there for their child, it's to interact with them, be there for them like 100%. It's like that's something you can think about. Like I have a child out there and I'm not mentally there for her, so it's like I know that's like taking a toll on him a lot.
Yeah, because didn't she ask him, like, do you still love me, like, over the phone or something? Pretty sure.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
something about like, you still love me, and he was like, of course I still love you. But then, he also got really upset because he found out that the mom had something in her phone, like on the contact list, and it said like, bad news.
Yeah.
Richie bad news or something. She was like, he was like, I don't want my daughter to think I'm like bad news.
Yeah.
So, going back on Richie and everything, what were our first impressions of Carmi and Richie, and what did we think about them after the first few episodes?
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Richie gone. I did not like Richie. Like, I feel like he was just screwing up everything Carmi was trying to do, and Carmi's a world-renowned chef. Like, why is he not listening? And then he was just being an asshole most of the time. So I thought they were gonna fire him, and I thought they should, especially after he was talking about quitting the beef or something. But after a little bit more background information was given, I started to like Richie more.
Carmi, when I first seen him, it's like, he seemed like a very dedicated person to me. Like, he was always, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Like, ain't no stopping. Cause you know, they had that little dinner thingy, like when Sydney had cooked for him. Everybody else eating, enjoying the time, and he's still worried about what are we gonna do with it. So I like his dedication.
Yeah, Carmi definitely wanted things to change, and Richie just wasn't having it, which was part of the problem in the show. So it's like, you have Carmi, the one that's very dedicated and has goals and everything, and then Richie's the one that just wants everything to stay the same.
Yeah, their relationship reminded me of when you're working in a kitchen or like you have like coworkers, like there's usually one person that's like lazy or like, you know, doesn't really want to do that much work, and then you have the other person that's like the exact opposite and wants to work super hard and, you know, go above and beyond for whatever company they're working for. And since they're like polar opposites and they're so close together too, we're just always like beefing with each other. No pun intended, but you know.
I think the like Carney. But my first impression of him was kind of like, what is he doing there? Like, his purpose, like he was a renowned chef and stuff, and so it's kind of like, what is he doing back in the rinky little restaurant that his brother left him? And it's like kind of the same way that Toby had said with Carmi and Richie's relationship. They're always clashing heads, and so my impression of Richie at first was also like, why are you there? Like, why don't you just leave? Like, don't you see that you're holding back everybody else? So it's kind of like, my impressions of Richie was like very conservative, if that makes sense. And then once I got to know the type of character that he was, then it kind of opened up to like, oh yeah, this is his situation, so should be a little bit more lenient.
You know, I think Carmi has really high standards, and you know, he kind of struggled to get the team on board together. You know, but Richie's kind of like the opposite. Although he's harsh, you know, he likes to get people together. He likes to work as a team. So, yeah, my first impression, I didn't like Carmi at all. To be honest.
Carmi?
Yeah.
Like Carmi?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that
That's
because
different.
he just seems like he would be like kind of annoying if you're more like laid back or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you ever had like a boss that's like constantly on your ass about like getting stuff done, which like they needed to because they were in shambles, but I could see like why someone wouldn't like him.
Yeah, I think that's why they were all clashing heads at first, because Carmi, he brought on immediate change, like very intently, but everyone else, you know, they kind of came off as an insult to them, so they just kind of like stepped away from everything that he was trying to do, almost as a like defense mechanism, because they felt insulted by everything he was saying, because he was changing so much. He was telling them that a lot of things they were doing was wrong, so it just they got off on the wrong foot.
Well, that makes sense too, because it's not like Carmi went in there and was like, okay, let's like start with a small change. He was like coming in there trying to change the whole place.
Which I did, because
Like the first day.
he was trying to honor his brother's memory of the store, so he was trying to make it as best as he could. And I mean, 300,000 in debt plus some requires a lot of change.
After Mikey died, we all know that Richie took over running the beef until Carmi got there 4 months later. So when we first watched System, Hands, Sears, Review, and Braciole, it gave us plenty of evidence of each person's leadership style. What type of leaders do we think Richie and Carmi are?
Richie's very laid back.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like maybe it's because of like the way that Carmi came in and his leadership style is very different. So it's kind of like, do you side with the more lenient one that you used to be so used to, or the one that's coming in new and hot?
Yeah, I think Carmi's leadership style is just like he has like a system, like no matter what he does, it's like there's a certain way to do a certain thing and you have to do it this way and under this time. And then I think Richie's is more like oh, it'll get done naturally. Just take your time. As long as it gets done under this time, you're fine. But
Well, yeah, and when Richie was running it too, they ended up getting like a grade C on like the grade and everything, and like the test they did. And then Richie's like, oh, I'll go and I'll fix it right now. Give me like 5 seconds. I'll go and I'll fix it. Like he just didn't give enough care to even pay attention to what was wrong in the first place before they came to do the test.
I feel like it's a wide, like, an open, I don't know how to say it. It's like your eyes are open now for once instead of like all being closed.
oh, eye-opening?
Yeah, eye-opening, and so for, it was eye-opening for Richie to get that grade, because he was just like, he's so used to doing the same thing over and over again, and it's just like, no, get out of the way.
So, like she was saying, it's like Richie, he's used to the normal. Like the normal is the basis for him. He's not willing to expand out and at least do something different. He, like Toby said, it's like it is what it is. Shoot, it'll get done eventually. I don't really care. But Carmen is like, I got a way. It's set like this. It needs to be done like this. It needs to happen at this time. Like a set schedule. Like he's I don't say organized person, but more organized than Richie is.
Yeah, I would say that Richie, he's more sloppy and mediocre of his way of doing things. And if something has to happen, as long as it gets done, it's fine. He doesn't care how long it takes or how mediocre the job is. Whereas Carmi, even when, we look at him before the restaurants open, you're like, an hour till open, chefs, half an hour till open, and everyone's just kind of sitting around. Well, Carmi, he's always trying to make sure that he's ahead of the game, making sure that he's prepared for anything that may happen, like influx of orders or something like that. Whereas everyone else is like, if that happens, we'll deal with it then. And they're not actually like prepared.
And I think everybody else they're like that because that's the kind of management they were under.
Yeah.
So it's like when Carmen comes in to try to switch things up, it's like, excuse my language, but it's like, the hell are you doing? Because they're used to being able to just sit back and just do stuff on their own time and get done when they get done. But when they got a new management and a different style, it's like, dang. Because some people get offended to stuff like that. So.
Yeah, because Carmi was messing with the system, and I mean, like Richie said, and like Yusuf said earlier, he was messing with the delicate ecosystem of the whole workplace. They weren't used to changes like that, like calling each other chef